Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition called The Steven Factor. And tonight, I'm getting ready to create my very first installment called Factor Scandals. Now, this season, I will reveal so many scandals which is going on right here in this area, including celebrities, politicians, everything you want. Every, everything you want. And also, I would like to do a very first segment um, on this Factor scandal with Matt Laurer. And I hope you enjoy the show, and I want to have an express about with this guy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for over 20 years, or should I say for over 40 years in general, Matt Laurer became a journalist for so many stations, including right here on NBC News. He became one of the longest running anchors in history, and also he's become one of my favorite anchors of all time. Now, when I was a kid, I used to watch Matt Laurer. My mom and I loved the Today Show. Every day with Katie, Al, and Ann, and yes, like I said, Matt Laurer, they became like the original Fat Four. And a few years later, Katie Couric's moved to CBS News. Ann Curry's had been fired because of Ann and Matt really don't get along very well. Savannah Guthrie is joining the crew, and the ratings going up and down all because of GMA. And to be honest with you, when Matt Lauer has been fired during the sexual assault, everything went change. And to be honest with you, I was shocked and stunned. Now, I'm trying to say thoughts about Matt Lauer. I think it was sad, it was frightening, but also it was terrible at the same time. Some women came here forward and talking about that what he do, trying to abuse the power and everything, and everything's much even worse. And friends and colleagues are giving him a hug and trying to move on to the next chapter. And to be honest with you, everything went sad at the end, and I don't know that what is really going on in this situation. Now, to be honest with you, in my mind, Matt Lauer just realized about what is really going on with him. And even his behavior is really going this too far as well too. Now, let me tell you something. During the sexual assault is a crime. And you're not supposed to having sex with so many employees during the workplace. And sexual assault is not a joke. And that's why Matt Lauer was really one of them. He's trying to keep them mouth shut and don't say anything that what he's doing all the time. And I found the facts right here on the Wikipedia, right here on this cell phone. So I decided trying to read it to you. And this is the paragraph of sexual assault allegations. On November 29, 2017, NBC News announced that Lauer's employment has been terminated after identified female NBC employee reported that Lauer had sexually harassed her during, get this, on the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi, Russia. And that the harassment continues after they return to NY. Andrew Lack, the chairman of NBC News, sent a memorandum to his staff that said in the part on Monday night we received a detailed complaint from the colleagues about inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace by Matt Lauer. While it is the first complaint about his behavior in over 20 years, he has been at NBC News, where also represent reason to believe that this may not have been an isolated incident. A Negro executive said Lauer will not receive any forms of monetary settlement because he was fired for cause. His contract has been scheduled to run through the end of 2018. NBC News management says has been aware that New York Times Valerie has been conducting an independent investigation of Lauer's behavior, but the management had been aware of previous allegations against Lauer. The Valley reported allegations by at least 10 of the Lauer's current and former colleagues. Additional executions went public in the ensuing days. The NBC acknowledged 3 additional cases from the year 2000 and 2007. Now, let's be clear, everything is true about what they did. They found the evidence about Lauer and also about his sexual behavior. But for the first time ever since he's been fired, he decided to live his own life. His wife divorced him, and now he's want to go on his private life and don't want to be bother him. And also he decided to make it a spotlight for himself because he's performing with a TikTok with his daughter to make him feel good. And even there's a little bit mixed reactions. So many celebrities, all kinds of stuff, make them uncomfortable, you know? But even some of today's show, they didn't even mention Matt Lauer or even Aunt Curry, and this is completely sad as well too. But during around, which is on Yom Kippur, on Wednesday, this author, his name is Rowan Farrell, and to be honest with you, he's a journalist, by the way. But I want you to try to read this paragraph. This is a graphic detail that I want to show you. And remember, folks, this is my very first installment called Factor Scandal, so just watch it when the video ends. This is frightening here. Now, additional details about the incident that led to Lauer's firing came out, 2 years later. In 2019, in a book titled Catch and Killed by Journalists. Ronan Farrell, in the book, Farrell reveals the accuser as Brooke Nevels. Now, let's stop right there. Now let's take a look back in the year on 2017, 2 years ago, on November 29th. This identified female claims that she's been sexually assaulted by Matt Lauer, and 2 years later it's been revealed that the identified person is Brooke Nevels, and she was the one she's been assaulted during the Olympic Games in Russia. And also, get this, and became one of the first accused by Matt Lauer. Listen to this. She's been accused of Lauer of anal penetration, which is also known as anal sex. Anal penetration without consent constituting rape, while the two were at the hotel in Sochi, Russia, and covering in 2014 Winter Olympics. Farrell has also written in his book that Nevels had additional sexual encounters with Lauer after the incident, but she was characterizing those encounters as transsexual and consented only out of fear that Lauer had control over her career. In a statement made after his firing, Lauer apologized for his actions. Now, and that's what he did. It was true, by the way. It was true. Some of what is being said about me is untrue or miscategorized, but there is enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed. following on Neville's allegation of sexual assault that was published in Farrell's book. Laurer issued an open letter confirming that he had, listen to this, that he had a consensual sexual relationship with Neville's, and that the relationship started in 2014. So, which means he's been cheated by his wife and falls in love with another woman, and he's doing a anal sex with her, with that you definitely make her uncomfortable. That she makes it uncomfortable with. Wow. But denying that internal encounter was not consensual. 2 weeks later, Laura's firing Adi Zanon, a former Today Productions assistant, made the additional execution, saying that she had a consensual sexual relationships with Laurer in June 2000. She claimed that relationship was in the abuse of power on Laura's part because Simone said that she felt turning down Laura's advance and have hurt her career. Now that's terrible. That was very terrible. I feel sorry for this guy. I really don't know what he did that it was completely inappropriate. And to be honest with you, it was shocking and stunned. It really makes them uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable with it. But right now, I think Matt Laurer is going to face the music. Now, just want to let you know that Matt Laurer is 61 years old, and he's in the wrong place in the wrong time. And what he did right here is completely a mistake. Now, I have a theory that Matt Laurer is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. He loves his family, he loves his friends and colleagues, but his life is completely messed up. He needs to face the music. He needs to go in the courthouse and turn himself in. And to be honest with you, his life will be over. So, and this is gonna be a challenge for him. If Matt Laurer will go to the courthouse and explain everything about what happened, he will definitely going to do it. Same thing for Kevin Spacey. He can't take it anymore. And as you know, he was a very gay man as well too. And to be honest with you, he went to the courthouse and he went in there without surprise. They told him, he got his lawyer and everything, and he told him about what really happened. And I wish he could do the same thing just like Matt Laurer. Matt Lauer is still sitting here doing nothing, still unemployed, and he needs to go over there and tell him the truth. He needs to go to the courthouse, get the lawyer, get all the facts of what he's had done, and tell him the truth. And after that, maybe he should stay in jail. I don't know when, but he needs to face his consequences. So Matt Lauer, if you've been watching this one's for you, buddy. Don't run away. Come back. Be presentable. Go to the courthouse. Tell them the truth. That what you did was wrong. And I don't know who else to blame, but I think you, my friend, are definitely responsible for this. Now, rape is a crime, and it was dangerous. And what he did, it was completely inappropriate. It was wrong, it was scary, and it was gross. it should never happen again. But to be honest with you, Matt Laurer needs to go in the courtroom and face the music. And also, maybe he could give him a lie detector test if he done it. That would be the most shocking of all. I hope he definitely gonna learn his lesson here, folks. But right now, he needs to get his act together. He needs to tell the truth. The truth will be out there. And this is gonna stop. Big time. Todo para